everybody. It is the day before travel. So you know what that means? Today is maintenance day. We've been sitting for over a month. So today, gonna go over the suspension. We're gonna grease up the shackles and the shackle hangers. We're also going to go on to the slides, lubricate the slides. We're gonna hit the rubber and give the rubber maintenance. We did the anode rod right before we came here, but I will link that video in with this as well so you can see that for the water heater. Basically, I like to do general maintenance every 5 weeks or so. More so if we've been sitting for a long time, so I'll go over the tires. I'm going to check the torque on the lug nuts, just kind of a once over. I've got plenty of time today, I'm not in a rush. That way everything is taken care of and it's ready for our trip tomorrow. We're not going too far, but you know, even if you're going a mile down the road, you want to make sure that everything's good and ready to go. So we're going to attempt that, and we'll show you what we do on our maintenance and pre-travel days. We're up on the roof. Today what we're going to start off with is we're going to clear off the roof, clear off our awning, clear off our slides, and then we're going to lube up the Schwintek slides up on the top here, and then we'll catch the rubber grommets and we'll take care of those. We cleaned this guy off, got rid of all the debris. This is an excellent time to get up here and look for any tears, especially if you're in the trees like we are, obviously. Luckily we haven't had any real bad windstorms, but you want to make sure that nothing fell and gouged your roof surface, which we're pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump down on this slide. I'm going to lube the top of the Schwintek real quick. I use 2 different lubricants. So these are kind of my go-tos. The first one is your 3-in-1 slide out silicone lube. The next one is this guy I really like. This is for the rubber seals that go around each slide. So the reason I've got them kind of up here is that way I can get the tops, and then when I'm down on the bottom I can get the rest and stuff. Gonna get a little messy. I don't know what they can hear and what they can't. So with this, what I do is I spray it onto the boot and then I'll wipe off the excess. Basically all this does is ensure a nice, it keeps it from getting brittle and UV rock. So while we're up here, also kind of the same thing with your roof. Now is a perfect time to check your slides to make sure there's no damage on your slide from falling objects. So we'll hit this guy here. I kind of come down about a foot each way. And then I'll hit this top of the Schwintek. So I've got 3 slides that have the Schwintek on it, and then I've got 2 slides that are the traditional hydraulic rack and pinion. So those 2 are the living room, so I'll just catch the top of those, and then I'll hit the back ones, the kitchen areas with the Schwinteks again, and then we'll jump down and we'll do the bottom. Okay, so now is, like I said, a really good time to check your roof for any tears, any gashes, any leaks, especially on the side here. We did on the last trip, I did have a little gash here, so I just took some of my Dicor and filled in the corner of that. It will be fine, but that's just one of these things that you want to make sure that you kind of do a once over, make sure that all of the original Dicor that is on here, or whatever type of sealant you have depending on your roof, is in good shape. There's no cracks, there's no valleys. You'll see a link up here where we had a huge flood, and it was all because we had a little crack in between the Dicor, and we were in some monsoonal rain and it all came through the ceiling. So it's very important that you inspect your roof, and what a better time to do it than while you're up here clearing it off anyway before travel day. So we've already caught the sides, so now I'm going to grab the 3-in-1 from Beth. We're going to catch the bottom of the SwingTech. Now, don't forget about the bottom. Sometimes they get overlooked even though they're right there. This one's a little trickier than this because the seal is on the inside. So it's all the way up in here. So what I typically do is wedge a rag in there and then slide that rag all the way back and forth. So I'm not so worried about the overspray because we are going to get this thing cleaned tomorrow, or excuse me, Wednesday. So for right now, we can't get it cleaned here. So as you can see, the fifth wheel is just horribly dirty. So that's why, another reason why I'm going through and getting all the prep work done. To make sure that we are all good to go. I'll wipe down the excess spray that's on here. But that's why I'm not being too anal about the little bit of overspray that we do have. Okay, now these are going to be a little trickier. Okay, so we don't have the SwingTech on there, but we do have, and I'll have Beth crawl under here with me, we do have our rack and pinion. So what I will do is we also have seals up here. So we have a water seal here, and then we have our dust and pest seal here. So same thing, we'll spray these guys. And this one, unfortunately, is usually where I have to change out the rag because it gets so dirty. So that's this side. And then what I do is I'm going to spray this here on the top, on the gear, and on the side. Same thing on this side. We're going to kit this, the gear, the top, and then I'll catch the other side from the other side. And then I'll have Beth go around the other side. We'll continue spraying down our seal. Make sure that it stays nice and pliable. Because you can see to where we do have a little bit of gap here, but we still have another seal there. So, and that is because some of these stuff hold memory. And you'll see that a lot of people complain about this seal here, that it failed on them, that they're getting bugs or this, that, and the other, or cold. You just got to take maintenance up with them. That's basically what it all comes down to, is your maintenance and checking it out beforehand. Adrian's trying to say hi to everybody. So I know you couldn't see from the angle, but what we did is we caught the other side of that shaft and gear set, lubricated it, caught the end. So now I'm going to catch this other seal here. You'll see that it goes right in. That's a good sign. That means that this guy is nice and pliable, you know, and that it's moving like it should. If you want to pull it back out, be my guest. You really don't have to. It's just like the seal on the bottom, you have two of those seals. So this seal here pushes against here when it's closed, and then this is a double weather strip. You have, I'll have Beth hand me the camera, as you've got this guy here, and then on the inside you got another guy right there, and then you kind of got the same thing. You've got another one of these on the inside that seals around the trim, so you have quite a few coverage areas. So now we'll get on to the other side. I'm going to repeat that, and then we'll show you the bottom. It's always a good thing to have you a 6-foot ladder. This guy's actually going to go to the wayside, and we'll explain that in a future, very soon video. But nonetheless, we still want it till that happens. While we're under here, I'll show you real quick. I'll have Beth zoom in on that guy. If you find that when you're taking your slide in and out that it is dragging across your floor, there's 2 bolts here. This jam nut, you loosen this jam nut up, this will pitch. So if you raise this up here, it's going to pitch your slide down. If you bring this back down, it's going to bring this side of your slide up, and that will help when you retract your slide from dragging on the floor. Relatively simple fix. We actually had to do it on this slide here, because from the factory it came and it was just ever so slightly dragging and leaving black marks on our floor. You also have some adjustments up here that you'll have to loosen these to slide it, but you can see where it was compared to where it is now. So that was about a half-inch adjustment that we had to do, 3/16 of an adjustment. Alrighty, so that is the seal maintenance, and now we'll go underneath the axles and I'll show you how to lube those guys up. Okay, so this here is my favorite part. You see, as we have a zert here, zert here, zert here, zert there, and one on each hanger. So that gives you 7 on each side. And if you're staying on top of this, oh, I wasn't prepared. I have the grease needle adapter set in there for my hitch. This will be a dirty job. Okay, so I turned on these underbelly lights. Hopefully it helps a little bit. If you've stayed on top of this, this shouldn't be too bad. Should just be a couple pumps on each one. There we go. Now the front and the rears, obviously I will change position so that we can well, the back one's really taking a lot today. Like I said, it's a messy job because they just don't make grease guns like they used to, so finding a good Zert handle is sometimes more of a chore than it is not. So if you're turning and you hear a lot of noise out of the back of your trailer, I guarantee you that these things are dry. So take the couple minutes that it takes to climb underneath here and just zap these both out. So like I said, I'm going to do that front one, and then the other side is exactly the same. While you're under here, check your wiring for your electric brakes. This side as well as that side, you can see where they actually come down up here from the trailer. Same thing over here where it comes down. Just make sure your connections are still good, they're still watertight, and just check the back of everything. You're already down here. An important thing is to, when you're down here, okay, check this right here, this, that, and over here on your shackles, these are your shackles. This is where 99% of the time you have a broken spring from. Check your hangers as well. These things take a lot of beating. The roads, obviously, as we all know, are not smooth, and you know, that's the first thing to take the abuse of it are your spring packs. So while you're down here, check to make sure you don't have any broken springs, that your U-bolts are tight. You know, just do a nice visual. You don't have to come down here with a torque wrench or anything. You definitely can, but you don't have to. Just do a visual inspection while you're down here greasing everything up, and that way you know you're not hit with a surprise. Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to replace this. This is our anoid rod. It goes into our Suburban hot water heater. This guy kind of depends on how much you're using your hot water. They say for full-timers you should probably replace it every 3 months. We're at about 4 months here since we got this guy, so we're probably overdue. What this guy does is it attracts the minerals that are in the water, and they kind of eat this away instead of going through your whole system. So this is going to be a 1 1/16 socket. We're going to pull that out. Now keep in mind, first thing you want to do is shut your water off, shut your heater off, so make sure that there's no heat there. And then the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit your bypass. I have my hot water open down there, so that's my low point, so I'm going to let all my hot water drain out down there so that I don't have a shower of water, so to speak. So we're going to let that drain real quick, and then we're going to get ready and we'll pull that guy out. Okay, so we're going to put our socket onto our ratchet. We're going to put it on here. And that's why I had the bottom open. So you will see that it's going to all come rushing out. And ours really wasn't that bad. It actually can go for quite a bit longer, actually. But since we already have it out, we're going to go ahead and put it in. Normally this guy will go all the way down to like just a little piece of wire. So this one's actually in really good shape for 4 months. We'll let that guy drain out, and then we'll put some Teflon tape on this guy, and then we're going to rinse out the bottom end of this, get any of the excess calcium buildup that is in there and get it out. So we got this guy off of Amazon. Put the link down below in the description. I'm going to try it. I was kind of looking for something else that has a flexible hose, but this guy just kind of goes in your orifice here, and you just kind of spray it. You can lock it on, and you just want to get all of this stuff that might be sitting around on the top of your water heater in your tank. And basically the process is to just kind of clean this guy out. Like I said, this should be done about every 3 to 4 months for full time. So we will do this for probably about 5 minutes, rinse it all out. You want to keep going it until you can see that this water comes out clear. As you can see, it has a little bit of a brown haze to it. So we want to make sure we get all of that mineral deposit out of there before we put the new one in. So I'm going to clean this up for 5-10 minutes until she gets clean, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so we rinse this guy out for about 5 minutes, like I said, till everything, all the minerals are coming out, and we got clear water coming out of there. So now we're just gonna, we thread this. It's important. We got this guy, comes as a 2-pack off of Amazon. I'll put the link down in the description as well. Use your own Teflon tape. The Teflon tape they give you is junk. So do yourself a favor, use your own Teflon, and then I'm just gonna thread that guy back in. Okay, and then grab your 1 1/16 socket. Snug it back up, and that's it. So make sure you got some water. We're gonna have to unhook our water off of our nozzle, put water back to this, make sure that we're not leaking, and put our grade back on. You're done. That should be good for another 4 weeks, or excuse me, 4 months. So remember, full timing about every 3 to 4 months. If you're just doing it on the weekends or seasonal, once a year. Well, you'll notice the shirt's a different color, and you'll notice the background's a little different. That's because I totally spaced out the conclusion on this video. I apologize. The one thing you want to kind of take away on this is your suspension. Your suspension is your key component. It's what takes all the abuse. So you want to take some extra time and just really thoroughly go through your suspension. Check your leaf springs, check your shackles, check your wet bolts. If you're curious what wet bolts are, that is the bolt that goes through that has your grease zert on it. So you want to make sure that they're not worn out. Your U-bolts, I think I said, your wiring for your trailer brakes. You just want to take your time and really go through that guy, and just make sure. The easiest way, believe it or not, is to take like the butt end of a hammer and just smack it against things. If you hear something rattling, it's probably broke or it's loose. So you just want to take your time. Again, I apologize. I am human, but if you like what you saw, give us a comment. And if you have a suggestion that something might be easier or something that works for you, let us know. Put them down in that comment section. We're always eager to learn new things, and if there's something that's a lot easier than what we're doing, hey, we're all about helping each other out here. So go ahead and hit that bell. That way you know when we throw out a new video. It's usually on Tuesdays, but sometimes we like to throw out a new one and surprise y'all. So subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and let us know what you like and what you didn't. Thank you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.